Welcome to Lavender Recap. In today's video, we'll be going through an American drama movie from the year 2019, which is based on the true events of the Fox News scandal titled Bombshell. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. This intense true events-based movie runs around three different women who worked for Fox News and the awful sexual harassment by their boss, Roger Ailes. Megyn Kelly, the film's central character and one of the network's top stars, prepares to moderate the debate between Republican presidential hopefuls. Despite some resistance from co-workers, she's adamant about questioning Trump about his sexist remarks about women. Megyn becomes quite ill on the day of the debate, vomiting in the bathroom. Regardless, she continues and inquires about his remarks. He spends the evening tweeting venomous things about her and encouraging his followers to do the same. Megyn is upset about the amount of vitriol she has received, as well as the fact that she has become the story rather than reporting it. During her vacation, she's harassed by strangers, and a paparazzo arrives outside her window, photographing her daughter, leading her husband Douglas to fire him. While Fox hires a security detail, she will return to work and the network will not come out against Trump. Roger, a close friend of Megyn's, is notoriously paranoid and believes Megyn was poisoned on the day of the debate. Gretchen Carlson was the co-host of Fox and Friends, but she was demoted to a less important afternoon slot. She's had it with sexist comments after sexist comments, and she's tired of those. She meets with lawyers who inform her that her contract makes it difficult for her to fight back in any way. They tell her about Rudy Bakitar, who was fired for refusing to accept her boss's sexual approaches. They warned her that the only way to get around it is to sue Roger directly, but she'd need clear evidence and more women to come forward, which Gretchen is confident would happen, so she goes back to work. Kayla Popisil is a young conservative woman who grew up in a religious environment and worships the right-wing Fox News network. She started her career there, working under Gretchen until she was offered a promotion to Bill O'Reilly's show, which is the network's most popular show. Gretchen wears no makeup on one of her shows to show and encourage women, and Roger storms down to the studio and makes a sexist remark about her appearance, which Kayla overhears. She then informs Gretchen she's leaving. Gretchen begs her to stay and assures her that she can protect her, but Kayla sees no reason to refuse a promotion. She transfers to O'Reilly and is chastised by him on her first day. Kayla's co-worker, Jess Carr, assists her by showing her how to terrify her grandmother, upset her grandfather with Fox News stories. Kayla and Jess sleep together one night, and after a round of work drinks, despite Kayla telling Jess she isn't a lesbian, she's taken aback when she discovers a Hillary poster in Jess's apartment and wonders why a homosexual Hillary fan works at Fox. Jess reveals that she applied to a number of jobs before landing this one, and that now that she works for Fox, no one else will hire her. Kayla tells Jess to keep a photo she had with another lady hidden at work. Kayla is invited to meet with Roger in his office, and she's ecstatic at the prospect of being promoted to on-air talent. She invites her to get up and do a twirl for him when she tells him this. He then asks for a closer look at her legs. He continues to do this until she, in expiration, pushes her skirt up high enough for him to see her underwear. He dismisses her, and she attempts to tell Jess about it, but Jess regretfully declines. After some time has passed, Megyn decides to interview Donald Trump at Trump Tower. Douglas is enraged when she watches the film because it appears as she let him off the hook with a slap on the wrist. Meanwhile, Gretchen performs a piece on her show in which she declares her support for an assault weapons prohibition and is summoned to the second floor, the floor where Roger rules everything. Kayla is taken up to Roger's office. Gretchen is going to second floor, and all three women end up in the elevator at the same moment. Gretchen goes to visit Roger, but his assistant at his door says that it wasn't Gretchen that Roger wanted to see, but it was some other girl named Diane. Meanwhile, Kayla is standing right next to Gretchen, at the door of Roger, listening to the conversation between the two. Gretchen waves by, and as she goes, the assistant says Kayla that Roger is ready to see her. Meanwhile, Gretchen is being fired from her job. Roger fired Gretchen. She's curious as to why, but she's not given an explanation. She takes her stuff from the office and moves out, saying to the audience that she refuses to be replaceable. She calls her lawyer and says that she's been fired, for which her lawyer asks if she's given a reason for which she was fired. Gretchen says no, and now they're ready to go to war, make the biggest controversy of all time, against Roger, the Fox ad. Roger is in Paris, and here, Gretchen is suing him for sexual harassment at work. The news is everywhere, and his sons are talking to the lawyer, trying to bring down the case. The lawyer says that Gretchen didn't come to negotiate a severance, which means she had this whole thing planned. So as this happened, the lawyer asks the sons to conduct internal investigation on Roger's behavior. The lawsuit against Roger also alerts the Fox offices. It's all over the internet. Megyn sees it on one of the employees' computer as well. Meanwhile, Roger's wife is at her workplace and she doesn't know about the news yet, and her colleagues, who know, are acting weird around her. Roger suddenly calls her and asks her to go to home directly and that he'll meet up with her. But the news is everywhere. The sexual harassment accusation is on every news channel. Roger meets with his wife Beth, lawyer Susan Estrich, and Rudder Giuliani to deny all of the allegations. Fox invites all of its female stars to come out and defend Roger, which many do gladly, claiming that they have never been harassed, defending that Roger is actually innocent and Gretchen is a fake victim. Meghan is in the same room, and as she's listening to other women telling that Roger would never do such a thing, she gets really angry. She says that nobody would raise the voice against Roger in the company because he controls everything. She's definitely quiet, and she tells her employees the truth. Roger harassed her when she first joined the network 10 years ago. She had turned him down a law firm partnership for an entry-level job at Fox News, and Roger would call her up to New York to dangle prospects. She wanted this help, but the sick man harassed her, and she was too scared to raise her voice or do anything about it. Gil, her second in command, asks what she wants to do, and she tells him that she spent all that time with the news and doesn't want to get involved just yet because it would follow and ruin her career forever. Fox, on the other hand, keeps urging Meghan to make a pro-Roger remark. No other woman comes forward in the intermediate aftermath of the suit, which disappoints Gretchen, who had hoped that additional women would speak up. Investigators do discover 6 women who were sexually harassed by Roger before Fox News, which doesn't assist Gretchen's case or public view. Meghan considers coming out, but she doesn't want to be the only one, so she goes on the hunt for the other women despite the danger she faces at Fox. She finally follows up on a few leads and locates a number of women who have been harassed or attacked by Roger. Bill O'Reilly and other males at the network, persuading them to report it to the authorities. She meets with Kayla and inquires about Roger's harassment of her. Kayla confesses that he did, and Meghan informs her that it occurred to her as well. Kayla is enraged, wondering why she didn't do anything to defend women who came after her and why she isn't doing anything now. Kayla is told by Meghan that it's not her responsibility to protect her and report the harassment. Kayla calls Jess, distraught, while on a date with a man and asks if she gave Meghan her name. Kayla tells Jess that she was worried about her, and Jess informs her that she gave in to Roger. Kayla informs Jess that she thinks she wants to go to the investigators, and Jess urges her to do so. Meghan finally speaks up, putting the final nail on Roger's coffin. When she's interrogated by the detectives, she notices that her name is Witness W, and she discovers that she is one of 23 women who have come forward. Susan informs Roger that Gretchen has taped all of their encounters and has proof in the suit. Susan informs Roger that they wanted him to deny everything in order to prove he was lying. Thus, they didn't say anything before. Roger talks with Rupert Murdoch, his old buddy at Fox News owner, to finalize the terms of his departure. Roger requests permission to go to the newsroom and inform everyone, but Rupert declines. Meghan is attending the Republican National Convention when she learns that Roger has been fired. Kayla, relieved that Roger is no longer with them, removes Jess's photo from her drawer and encourages her to keep out. However, Jess hides it as Murdoch enters the newsroom and informs them that Roger is no longer with them and that he will be taking charge. Kayla realizes she'd had enough of Fox News and walks out, dumping her badge into the trash while Jess cheers her on. Gretchen receives a settlement offer of $20 million from Fox News, as well as an apology, which she can't believe she received. She informs the audience that she doesn't care if they like her, all she cares about is that they trust her. Her attorneys inform her that the settlement includes a non-disclosure clause, which means that she will never be able to tell her story. Maybe, Gretchen adds, looking out into the audience.